It was Musa saying Mad in Love, taking us to 20 minutes after the hour, 1 o'clock. And I did say that round about this time, we are going to be getting into our first conversation of the day. And today we have Sandra De Bruin, who is the principal from Stepping Stone Junior School. And we're talking the business of education. Sandra, let me greet you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi, Thandi. Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Maybe let's begin this conversation by me giving you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself and, how you got into the world of education and now, fully business.
Okay. I'm Sandra De Bruin, as you've mentioned, the principal of Stepping Stone Junior School. Education has always been one of my soft points, in the sense that it is a career that I have followed, but that I have fought very much to be here. It was before becoming an educator, let alone principal. I had been under the impression that law was going to be for me. Okay. So the first degree that I completed was a criminology degree, then a psychology degree. I even spent time as a candidate attorney, only later to stop fighting education and say,
you submitted to it.
When it's your calling, it's your calling. You can have plans, but education's going to find you if it's your passion. So teaching, once I stopped fighting it, everything just fell into place.
Really?
Yes.
So you've got 3 degrees right now?
Well, plus the PGCE, so that's 3 and a certificate.
Oh my God. That is really, really interesting in so diverse industries and spaces.
And you won't believe how all of them actually helped me in the position that I currently attain.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Does, yeah.
That's really, actually, I think it was part of the purpose, actually, that you needed that equipping, that external equipping that you're going to use now within the education space that you found yourself in.
Yes, most certainly.
How many years have you now been in the
education since 18
sector?
and a bit. So where are we now? 16, nearly 17 years.
Wow, that's really, really lovely. All right, you're the principal of Stepping Stone Junior School. Tell us a little bit about the school, what it stands for, what it's about, and what happens there.
Well, Stepping Stone Junior School is, I don't think that I would teach anywhere else. Okay. There's a little bit of magic that happens at Stepping Stone. Wow. So Stepping Stone is an independent school.
Okay.
We are located at 81 Livingston Road. We have just over 300 children, just short of 20 staff members. Our vision and mission essentially are to equip learners to be citizens who one day give back.
Wow.
To develop them holistically and to find and develop a mindset for thriving. When you raise your standards and you make it clear what you expect of children, we often find that they really strive to please, and in so learning what it is that is expected of them.
I think, you are touching a very powerful word, holistic. And I think, in education and in schooling, I don't know how many people or how many institutions actually put that in there, because a child needs to develop in a holistic manner, because there's so many aspects, of the child that need to be developed. And unfortunately, you are kind of, our other parents, because we leave our schools. I know kids at schools for hours, and we're at work and we're doing other things, and so if the child is only just being groomed by someone who's only focusing on the books and not understanding that there needs to be a holistic development of the child, I think it's really wonderful that you guys use that approach, because it's very, very much important. And how do you create a positive learning and teaching environment? I know that some people would believe that the environment causes the child to flourish or not to flourish, So what are some of the tactics that you use to ensure that you create a conducive environment for learning?
I think one of the most difficult aspects of being a teacher, there are many, but one of the most difficult is possibly that you are teaching a mass of children. Different children. And when you view them as a collective whole, it's easy to miss most of them. So once you realize and you apply that they are individuals with individual situations, individual places of reference, individual stories, needs, wants, and that you create a safe space for them to just be who they are and develop what they are good at. Our understanding is if a child excels in hockey, for instance, you spend money on finding a hockey coach to improve that. If a child is not brilliant at maths, for instance, we should spend time and money and effort on developing the ability for maths, but we shouldn't be fazed by only the maths.
Sure.
Let's find the hockey coach that is going to develop what they are good at.
And I think, embracing the diverse nature of children. I mean, I've got 3 kids and they're all different. Like, they're all different, and, I'm every day trying to learn how to deal with the other one as an individual, with each one as an individual. And I think it really helps. It kind of creates a thriving space for the child to bring out the best, And I think, confining kids also in the schooling space to only doing, like, if for you to be brilliant, you must know 100% of maths, and I mean, they could be something
good
else.
at everything.
I think it's important to have that kind of balance within the schooling space. And something else I wanted to ask you is, can you touch on some of the challenges that are faced by the schooling industry, the schooling sector, and how that, affects the society, the community, and how maybe, schools can be able to, or even other external stakeholders can be able to come in with some solutions to those?
I think there's been a societal shift in the sense that more and more women are forced to work full time, forced or choose to, because of the economic current that, status that we find ourselves in, which means that often parents and guardians are kind of shifted a bit more to providing, whereas there's not as much nurturing that is taking place as what we would have liked to have seen.
If there's a full-time parent,
involved. We are of the opinion that every child needs at least one adult who's absolutely crazy about them. And when children sit in front of you, you can see the children who actually come from a place where there is someone who says, let me see your homework for today, whether they are in grade 1 or in grade 10. Someone who says, I want to see your homework book. Why is the teacher phoning me again? Let's pack your lunch. Let's make sure that your buttons are fastened. Basic, simple, nurturing things that the more parents are involved, or the more guardians or any particular, significant parent is involved in the life of a child, it definitely seeps through into every aspect of a child's life, and most certainly into the academic performance of a learner.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And truly, I think you put it very well to say that unfortunately, sometimes it's the circumstances, but what can we do? Because we cannot use them as an excuse, what can we do even in that 15, 30 minutes that's available, just use it to that, like, quality, because quantity is lacking. How can we make quality in that 15, 30, an hour time that we have with the child?
I think what we in the society that we live in, we are looking for instant gratification,
a lot.
And we use apps, and we use our cell phone, and we use we see
everything
children
quick.
Everything is quick, and we need to slow down, put the phones aside, even if it is for half an hour a day. Who did you play with today? Who are your friends today? Was there anything that happened at school that you didn't like? What happened in your natural sciences class today? How's it going with soccer? Show up for the soccer practice. Show up for the soccer match. When they're doing Eisteddfod, for instance, in August, you need to be the parent there. You need to be a child's biggest critic and their biggest supporter.
Wow. That is really, really wonderful. Now let's switch things up. Actually, we're not really switching up, but
well, I am definitely.
I know that there is this big, beautiful initiative that you are actually part of. I don't want to talk about it. I want you to come through and explain it briefly to us. I know it's called the 1965 Ride for Education. What's that all about?
This is a bicycle ride from Johannesburg to Queenstown. So that's roughly 850 kilometers.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
Yes.
Before you continue, I cannot even ride a bike. For me to ride it from Johannesburg to Queenstown, I
haven't ridden a bike in 15 years, but I have in the past month or so.
Started to prepare.
Yes, most definitely.
Oh my word. Yes, you can continue now.
So there's the bicycle ride, Johannesburg to Queenstown. It's done from the 10th to the 18th of April this year. Essentially by people who are very passionate about education and who would like to raise sponsorships for children who are deserving of bursaries.
So basically, you are going to ride a bicycle from.
I'm also just dealing with the idea still.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing, but it's such a phenomenal idea. I know there are a lot of other people who do it. I haven't seen a woman do it though. I haven't seen a woman do
There
it.
are women involved, but we've
Maybe.
never had local women. So
Ne-
this year we'll actually have two lady
Women
principals.
joining the
Yes.
wow. So you're gonna ride this bicycle so that you can be able to raise some funds for students, learners who are deserving of those funds. Now let's talk about what inspired you to actually do this, because this is something really
I've
mind-boggling.
often challenged myself on other fields, and this actually happened, and I hope that he's listening. The principal of Get Ahead Whittle C, Herman Venter, he was a colleague of mine, and I had phoned him after one of our parents had volunteered to do this bicycle ride.
Okay.
So before I spoke to the dad, I wanted to find out is really what the gist of it is.
Sure.
How far, what not.
Facts.
And Herman did the ride last year. He's doing it again this year. And he actually said to me, or asked me, why don't you do it?
Oh my word.
And in a minute or two of absolute
shock.
courageous stupidity or
You said yes.
stupid courage, I don't know which of the two, but it kind of just became yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Yes.
Wow, I think it's really, really a great initiative. How much are you hoping to raise? Is there a figure? Is there a number that you are hoping to raise? And I think also, speak to how it will be used. Like, someone might not understand, what you mean when you say it will help.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
Well, essentially, I didn't really understand either. That's why I phoned Herman and I asked him, so are you really paying people 30,000 Rand, or people paying you 30,000 Rand to ride from Johannesburg to Queenstown? And the answer was yes.
Okay.
So 30,000 Rand needs to be raised by the 10th of April.
Okay.
10,000 Rand of that needs to be raised by the end of February, and then the balance between 1
Before.
March and, yeah. And of that, a part of that is used for accommodation and obviously an ambulance.
Okay.
And a support vehicle and insurance and that kind of thing. A very small fraction of that is used for that. Then a part of that is used for building the funds for QEF. So QEF is the Queenstown Education Foundation that
Okay.
Stepping Stone also belongs to. Essentially, that's a forum where principals and schools of the Queenstown community, some of the schools in the Queenstown community, we collaborate and we see how we can make education in Queenstown better. And then the most of that is used towards physical bursaries for children.
So it's going to pay for a child's
Yes.
education.
Yes, for this
Basically
year.
for this 2024. So it's raised every year, probably.
Every year.
So when are you participating in this 2024 cohort, and you are going to be you hoping that the ride is going to ensure that there's a bulk of an
Yes.
amount that's raised for children or a child
Yes.
that's going to need.
Stepping Stone Junior School has been benefiting from this bursary for at least 3 years already.
Wow.
So this is not specifically for Stepping Stone. This is essentially
Any
for
child
hoping
within
that
the QEF.
if there's enough, then we could possibly do a second child at Stepping Stone or another child at another school.
Wow. That is really, really wonderful. And I'm hoping that, if you are listening and you are looking to, you've got funds towards education or you want to assist, maybe you can throw something at this course. Now, let's go back to Stepping Stone and maybe some of your future plans for the school. What do you currently offer, and how would you like to see the growth within the school?
So our near future plans are the development, this year, it's for the development of our playground. Our playground is in dire need of some love. Our front yard, we are looking at buying a massive jungle gym from East London. We've identified a company there. They actually installed our grade R jungle gym in 2015. So the quality is tremendous. It's beautiful.
good.
It's going to last. And this is something that our bigger learners, grade 1 to 7, and maybe even some of the teachers
Can use.
would benefit from. So we've
Okay.
definitely been investigating that, and that's our phase 1 for this year,
Okay.
that we would really like to get some sponsorships on board for that.
Sure.
And then secondly, we would like to look at the development of our back section. To plant grass would be an absurd idea because there are
The
so
expense,
many
or
feet.
Yes,
The feet.
They would
and
destroy it.
They would literally. And but we need to find ways to make it more comfortable for them in the back. Currently, we are looking at having artificial grass installed.
Okay.
This is something that comes with an 8-year warranty.
Okay.
So it's a section that we would like to have done under our tree area.
Okay.
And then with that, have benches and tables for learners to sit at, have their lunch peacefully, possibly sit and read with a teacher. Just an area where learners can just breathe.
Beautiful. And are you looking for support with some of the projects that you're doing? Are you looking for partners? Because I think someone might be listening in and they're thinking, okay, so are you sorted? Are you guys,
No.
So talk a little bit about that. Like literally, if you are requiring assistance, just touch on it a bit.
So
Partners, maybe,
we're definitely looking for individuals or company to jump along with this, become part of the movement for this. Our fundraisers for this year have been allocated to buy 9 new computers and our Readers Are Leaders program. So all our funds for fundraisers have been allocated to something. So essentially the upgrade of our playground, the jungle gym and the artificial grass and benches and tables in the back, we are going to have to find sponsors to assist with possibly, or even people with ideas on how we could possibly raise funds.
All right. In any case, I think the last question that I wanted to ask you is, what advice would you give someone who is also interested in starting a journey in education? Maybe they are hoping to pursue a career in education. Maybe they are hoping to buy a school or, start a preschool, something like that, like someone with an ambition to get into the education industry. How would you advise them as someone with extensive experience in this space? What would you have wished someone had told you, before you got in?
I feel on behalf of teachers everywhere, I need to mention,
Okay.
if you think that you are joining teaching for a half-day job or because we talk for a living,
And you get holidays.
yes,
And you guys get a lot of holidays.
need those holidays. You will need them. I think teaching is, like I mentioned earlier, it's definitely a calling. If it calls you, you have to pursue it. There are so many roles that you are going to have to fulfill to be a good teacher. Some days you will be a disciplinarian, and other days you will be a mediator and a counselor and an
mom.
educator and a mom. And
Many hats in
it
one.
is very, very fulfilling.
Wow.
I think anything in humanities is, the moment you start dealing with people, it's very fulfilling. And in particular, little kids.
Wow.
Well, they're not little, but they're grade 0 to 7.
They're not as old. They're not as
Yes.
old. Wow.
Very fulfilling.
All right. And if someone wants to give you a ring, find you somewhere and say, I've got 10,000 that I'm going to contribute to donate to buying the jungle gym or the playground, or I'm going to buy the turf, or how do they find you?
Well, firstly, they could contact the school. Our telephone number is 045 838 2754. My cell phone number is 082
Yes.
056 2272. They're welcome to send a WhatsApp, welcome to phone. We also have a Facebook page for
Sure.
Stepping Stone Junior School.
That's the name, Stepping Stone Junior
Yes.
School.
I think if you have a look on our Facebook page, you really get a better feeling of what really happens at Stepping Stone and why our learners are worthy of having someone say, yes, we will help.
Wow. Sandra, thank you so much for this conversation. It's been insightful. Thank you for coming through to the
Thank you,
show.
Thandisa. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of everyone at Stepping Stone, thank you.
Awesome. All right, Mpulapulu Vugani Community Radio. Interesting conversation there with Sandra De Bruin, principal of Stepping Stone Junior School, situated right here in Queenstown. I think two important things that she mentions there is they are currently doing a ride. She's doing a ride from Johannesburg from Johannesburg to Queenstown on the 10th of April. And, it's to fundraise an amount of about 30,000 towards actually helping a child that's in need. Sometimes you've got that 100 Rand that you don't know what to do with it, or you've got it and you'd like to contribute to a good cause, and you're passionate about education and you want to assist maybe a child that's in need or that's requires education. You can actually use this opportunity. She's also saying they've got a couple of projects that they're doing in the school currently, and they're looking for partners. If you're running a business and you don't know what to do with your corporate social investment money, or you want to be part of a cause in the community, this is an opportunity. They are currently open for partners who can be able to walk with them a journey in supporting their vision to make the school a better place for the children. And you can be able to get further details directly from her on 082-056-2272, or drop them another call on 045-838-2754. That's the school line. You can also find them on their Facebook page. It's called Stepping Stone Junior School. Right now, let's take a short break.